afternoon, everyone. I have arrived at exit A of Shakip Main Station. Once you leave Shakip Main Station, we are gonna keep walking forward until we get to this St. Francis of Assisi's English Primary School. And that's where they gave us this sticker for entering the reservoir. So from this school, we are gonna go up the stairs and we are gonna walk past this Shakip May Health Center and we are gonna go into this hiking trail. There were actually some weights there. That was pretty funny. And this is a pretty straightforward road. Although, as I say this, there is a crossway on the left and we have to turn right here. And keep along to your right hand side and then go upwards. This reservoir that we're going to is actually on top of a hill called Bishop Hill. It was known that the bishop would come here to spread the word of the religion. And once you get to the Berwick Road sign, you actually have to show a entry pass. So in Kowloon Reservoir, this water channel can take the water over to the Tadpole Road water treatment works. However, this water channel is not open for the public. So let me introduce this service reservoir for you. So do you know where our water comes from? I'll give you 3 seconds to guess. 20% to 30% of the water comes from natural rain. Water supply began in 1965. Okay, so this one over here is Kowloon Side. After 1997, Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Side was great due to the Nanjing Law created in 1840. Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Side are not the same. Hong Kong Island mainly has hills. And do you know which is the first reservoir to be built in Hong Kong? I'll give you 3 seconds to comment down below. It's called Pok Fu Lam Reservoir. The reservoir's water is flowing downward. It's called gravity flow. So Pok Fu Lam Reservoir's water will flow down to Victoria Harbour, Central, and Shangwan. However, during the Second Opium War in 1860, it separated the Kowloon side. Can you see this gray line? This map was the really original map of Hong Kong, as it didn't show any buildings of Hong Kong. And the checkerboards you can see over here are beaches. So what do the diagonal lines mean? It represents the hill. Kowloon side has a lot of flat roads. Do you think they have enough water there? Of course not, because they only had one hill. Water usually comes from the stream in the hills. Even though there are not a lot of water supplies, it's okay because Kowloon side is less populated. However, until after the 20th century, the population started to increase and they needed more water supply. In 1819, they recruited a new engineer. His name was Osbert Chadwick. So he said he made a suggestion to create a dam to stop the water from flowing down. And on top of the dam, they will build a well. And that well will absorb the groundwater. This building can be seen in Yau Ma Tei. Before the 20th century, these churches were usually made in red bricks. This is a map of the pumping station. This street's name is Station Street, and it's now Yau Ma Tei Police Station. So after the street has been filled with buildings, change the name to Shanghai Street. And the area where I'm pointing at now is actually the sea. When the gas comes through the sea, it will go up to the pumping station. But actually, this pumping station has already been removed, and it is now a private property of number 8 Waterloo Road. Okay, so let's talk about the groundwater pumping. To be honest, one well is enough. They decided to build 2 more. Back in the day, there was a convention between Great Britain and China respecting an extension of Hong Kong territory. Sham Shui Po is over here. When they rented out the new territories, they had to rent out Sham Shui Po too. However, this area is still a piece of grassland. After they rent out new territories, they immediately found a young engineer. His name was Lawrence Gibson. So Gibson and his team went up to Lions Rock, and they were looking for valleys, just like the Pokfulam Reservoir. However, they couldn't find anything in Lion Rock Hill, and was only able to find one in Grassy Hill. So the early stage of Callan water will collect the rain, and then it will go through the sandy pool, and then when people need the water, then it will go to the residency. When no one needs to use it, the water will automatically go up to the service reservoir. So the construction is upwards, middle, and lower. So this construction started in 1902. Because gas is really expensive. Starting from 1960, there was not enough water. So they needed to use the ex-Yamate Service Reservoir and the current Yamate Reservoir. And the Hongham Reservoir was used up to 1962. So then in 1962, decided to remove the reservoir, which drew Hong Kong citizen attention. After World War II, families like to have a family with 10 kids, and as the population increases, the free wells were not enough, so they had to start to build reservoirs to have enough water for these citizens. So the first reservoir we built on the sea is Bay Freshwater Lake. And Bay Freshwater Lake's storage capacity out of all the reservoirs in Hong Kong is up to 40 out of 80 drinking water capacity. Bay Freshwater Lake is not only giving water to the new territories, it also gives water to Hong Kong Island and Kowloon side. Sha Tin is actually Hong Kong's first new city, so they opened the new car subway. The Yamate Service Reservoir can hold 30 million gallons of water, and the ex-Sham Shui Po Reservoir can only hold 1,070,000 gallons. Hence why they decided to stop using the reservoir. During the year of 2020, this service reservoir and these 5 reservoirs that were all built simultaneously, and they took it to Antiquities Information Committee to do the rating, and it was rated as the declared monument. Actually, this design that was made 80 years ago is still being used now. This service reservoir is also using the same design, but they are not open for visitors. This cover is like a ditch. Actually, in 1917, all the holes has already been covered. Actually, the mud has already been washed away here, and as you can see behind, there is one that still hasn't been washed away. So this ring actually came from a company called Luxfer, which means light in Latin. And these kind of rings can often be seen on floors at Europe or England. Actually, the boss of this company comes from England. And the first Luxfer company was opened in America. But then he decided to open a limited edition company in England, and this ring actually flown all the way from England to Hong Kong. And as we were walking down the stairs, the tour guide was telling us to be careful because it's quite easy to trip over. Can you see the hole over there? Actually, this hole came from the cover you saw just now. It is used to collect the rain. What other uses does it have? It can also collect light. As the reservoir was built in 1904, needed natural light as electricity light didn't exist. So why do we need to collect light? Because when this service reservoir was opened, it was actually made with concrete. And because the water in this reservoir has been filtered, if the sun shines through, then it will give germs to the water. So that's why it needs to collect the light. So what is the advantage of this hole? It has a really tight lid. If this service reservoir becomes full, its water pressure will also rise a little bit. So this service reservoir actually started in 1904. Over here can fill up 218 gallons of water. Do you see these watermarks? It's been created by the water pressure coming in and out every day. So it used these balanced tubes to protect it. When the water goes up to this arch, it would make the incoming of the water not as balanced. So some strength is needed, and the strength are coming from this granite. Can you see the arc made out of bricks? And bricks' advantages are that their possibility is huge. The width can go to 3 to 4 inches. So why is it in a circle? Because the pressure on the top will be tilted to both sides. Can anyone guess what the top of the ceiling is made of? It's made of concrete. Concrete is stone plus sand. And concrete is a really normal material now, but in the 20th century it wasn't. So Lawrence Gibbs was a really brave engineer because he was one of the first ones to use concrete as a material. When everyone's using water, the water will move out of the service reservoir. However, at night, when most people don't use the water will then flow through this pipe, come into the reservoir. So when the water goes to this part of the pipe, it will actually touch the start and off button. And the service reservoir won't have any more water coming in from the top. So this orange line actually represents the wall to prevent the water from going through that point. So this is the actual object of the pipe you saw just now. And there's an object that separates the water into two. The point of this separation is to let the water that comes in first go. And what is this water channel used for? It's used to wash this service reservoir. Usually it will be washed every year. And the water will go out of the reservoir via this pit. So now let me give you guys some time to take pictures. This water channel was built in 1909. However, this part of the channel was built in 1935. What does this tell us? This tells us that these water channels can be built during separate periods. So this is where the water would come in and out. When the constructors come to construct the site, they would come in and out from this ladder. And they would also use this ladder to measure the capacity of the water that this service reservoir can hold. And these pillars are used to stop the water from overflowing. There are 78 pillars in total. And these bricks are used to hold up the wall. And this is the last clip that I filmed, so I really hope you enjoyed learning about the service reservoir in Sham Shui Po. And if you guys get a chance to visit it, remember to go onto their website to book a tour on the first day of each month. And if you enjoyed my vlog, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends, and I'll see you all with another traveling vlog. Bye!